Welcome back to another episode of La Liga Talks, and today we're going to mix it up a bit. Actually, I'm going to interview Ollie to find out what it's like a week in the life of La Liga social media creator, admin.
Content creator, social media admin. So over the last week and a bit, I've been to see Mallorca Barça, Girona Real Madrid, and Atlético Getafe, and have been creating content around these games. So I'm going to take you into what it was like to be at those games.
And make sure you watch this video to the end to see if I can score a goal on the pitch at the Metropolitano.
Basically, in this episode, we wanted to just give the viewer an insight into what it's like working in football in general, what it's like working at games, being up close with some of the biggest players in La Liga. And I've been lucky enough to do that a bit over the last couple of weeks, so we're going to get into the details about what I've been up to. And one way that I wanted to show you guys will be overlaying clips of my trip, and the way I filmed it from an inside perspective was with these special glasses. So these are Ray-Ban Meta glasses, and if I put them on, they just turn on, and I hold down this button. Now we're recording. You can see Luke. I'll take a walk around the studio. This is the view from the camera. Wave at the camera, Luke. This was what I used in order to capture the behind the scenes of being a social media
Absolutely.
admin.
And you'll see that coming up on screen now, right?
Exactly.
I mean, what a journey it's been for you the last week. But let's start right at the beginning of what that week was. I mean, this is seriously interesting, guys. It's going to blow your mind. If you're aspiring to be a football creator, then take a look at Ollie's journey over the last week. So you started with Barcelona.
Yeah. Well, it was a Barcelona game in Mallorca. So it was my first time in the island of Mallorca.
Beautiful place. Tell the listeners about the mission. What was the reason you went out to Barcelona, Mallorca?
Yeah.
Or Mallorca, Barcelona, I should say.
So the mission was, we were on a work trip with some broadcasters from all around the world. So on this trip there was broadcasters from Portugal, Bulgaria and Japan. And the reason they were there is because certain people from those markets play for Mallorca. So when we went to the training ground, as you'll see from the footage, we got a tour around the training ground. We got to see the team train. We got to meet Samu Costa.
Wow.
We got to meet Mariki, Asano, and our colleagues from all these broadcasters were filming interviews with them pre-match that they were going to use before Mallorca Barça. It was a big week for Mallorca as league leaders Barcelona were coming to town.
Absolutely. I was going to say, obviously that was a few days before the match.
So a couple of days before we went to the training ground, and then obviously match day is what you guys want to hear about. So
take us through. So it's the day of the match, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're there to create content for La Liga.
Yeah.
Take us through what's happening pre-match, for example.
Well, so my job at these games is to show the viewer or show La Liga fans another angle of the games, like a more inside footage that you wouldn't see from just watching the TV, for example. You arrive at the stadium like 3 hours before the game. So the teams arrive like 2 hours before kickoff. Obviously the players walk in. We got Hansi Flick, Lamine, Rafinha, all the lads. And then they come out onto the pitch. So this is like the type of thing that the TV broadcast wouldn't film. And one of the clips I ended up getting, which did really good numbers on social media, was the mascot from Mallorca. He's always like trying to have fun with the players and get interactions.
It's like a little devil, right? Their mascot?
Yeah. Demonio, he's called.
That's it.
All the Barca players walk onto the pitch. Almo was coming out. He always has a cup of coffee. Demonio was like messing with some of the Barca players. And then Almo, there was a ball on the ground. He picked it up. Threw it at Demonio. Funny reaction. Then like he goes over to like Lamine. Lamine like pulled his tail and stuff. So this clip ended up doing really well on socials, but it's like a type of clip you wouldn't see on the broadcast. So that's the idea.
Some camaraderie there with Barca. You know if you're working with teams all the time that you see these differences in teams right there, pre-match rituals almost.
Exactly. Every team is different.
You got a really special clip of the players coming onto the pitch, right? You got one of the most famous footballers in the world right now.
Get up close with Lamine Yamal. Obviously, like going to a Barca game at the moment, you just want to see what Lamine can do.
How is it to be so close to a player like that? I mean, that's dreams for most of us.
The thing I will say is though, when you're in work mode, and especially when you're filming, it's not like you're just kind of standing there watching them come past you. You're kind of in the moment trying to capture the clip, which requires like a certain amount of like concentration. Or you unfortunately have to look kind of at the player through the screen instead of like just being in the moment.
Do you enjoy the moment still?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You never want to let that
Yeah.
magic go. To get to be on the pitch, it's like something I would have dreamed about. Everyone wanted to be a footballer, so to get the chance to be up close to these players and film them is incredible.
So we know most big games, they have a moment, don't they? We've already expressed that the TV cameras will cover most of what's happening on pitch, but what was the biggest moment in game for you when you were there at Barcelona Mallorca?
The moment of that game was in the second half. I was in the same corner where Lamine was playing on the right wing, and it was that Travella assist that he did for Rafinha's
Another one.
goal, which is becoming like his signature move. So to see that like up close was just insane. Yeah, seeing Lamine in super form was class. So after the game, I had to get the clip of Lamine.
Yeah.
So on this particular game, I was able to go on the pitch and film some of the players, and yeah, straight for Lamine, of course. So you can see this clip of him.
So that's dream work, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
dream work of some of the biggest players in the world. It's an informed team. The vibes are good around the team, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
They've won.
Yeah, exactly.
What about after the pitch? Was there anything that happened right at the end of the evening? or was that
Something
job
you'll
done?
always try and film is like players giving jerseys to fans. So I got one of Frankie de Jong giving a jersey away. Just like, again, the type of clip that mightn't be on the TV broadcast. We want to bring the inside LaLiga footage to the fans. So then after the game, it's to the mix zone. So that's where they're doing the post-match interviews. And luckily on this game, our colleagues from Portugal got an interview with Rafinha, who was man of the match, who got a brace in that game, and they got to have an interview with him. So I was able to I'll insert some footage of that
Take some more
interview
content.
footage and just
Yeah.
take some more content. And that was the Barca game.
I mean, wow. It didn't stop there, did it? So you were straight off from Mallorca, straight on a plane
Yeah.
to Girona.
Exactly.
So Girona, Real Madrid.
Yeah, so the next stop was Catalonia for Girona Real Madrid. So I was able to go to the training ground at...
But there was a very special
Girona.
reason you were there, wasn't there, for
Yeah.
this one, guys? Listen to this. Manager of the Month award
Yeah.
for Girona coach, Michel, right?
Exactly. So while we were there, because we were going to the game on the Saturday, we wanted to maximise the content that we could get. So when we went to the training ground, I was able to give the November Coach of the Month, and you can see the footage now on the glasses.
What was he like?
Really nice guy. I mean, he's such a good coach. Like what he did last season with Girona was insane. So it's really nice to see him back winning the award, because he won it like 3 or 4 times last season.
Yeah, he seemed lovely on camera.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to get to do that moment. So you can see on the footage him coming into shot, and it's just like when you're working in football, everything's happening very fast. Obviously, they have busy schedules. The day before we were filming with Micha, they just played a Copa del Rey game the night before. Then they were training, getting ready for Real Madrid to come. So it's like a lot of stuff happening.
For the game itself, just moving forward a little bit there, you had some amazing videos of the team arrivals. You're talking international superstars here, Kylian Mbappé, Jude Bellingham, just to name a couple.
Yeah.
Now, we won't go through all of that again. You've just explained what you do there for the Barcelona game. But you wanted to show us something quite special, right, that we can react to here in studio about just how crazy it can actually be when this type of work gets going. So, yeah, we're going to look at it together, guys, but we'll bring it up on screen for you as well so you can look.
So, obviously, teams walking out in the stadium, so the music's going.
The atmosphere looks crazy.
Yeah, the fans are... It's actually a really small stadium, 14,000 seats. As you can see, look, Bellingham, Mbappe walking out. And then, this is where it gets interesting, because there, you can see behind me, Ancelotti and Michel are... So you kind of have to see where
Everyone
the photographers are, and then you see there, Ancelotti, Michel.
Quick snap on that.
Get a quick zoom on that. Get Don Carlo walking back, bang, over the shoulder. The Real Madrid team are posing for their team photo. Modric wanted to be on the end there for some reason. And then, bang, what now? All the photographers turn around, you get the clip of Ancelotti. 5 seconds there. And then, everyone skedaddles. Meanwhile, the players are doing their last rituals before the game
There's
starts.
Arda Güler, right? So you're also there to try and take content for him, for the Turkey team.
Exactly. So you get Arda Güler, there's Courtois, and then you got Jude running over. And this is Jude's famous pre-match ritual when he drinks the water. But yeah, it's just crazy.
You're trying to position yourself right now, are you?
Exactly. You're just trying to get the shot, hold it steady, adjust the
Look,
socks.
Xiaomeni right next to you as well.
Got Xiaomeni there. Obviously, have to focus on Jude. He's in such good form.
Of course.
And yeah, this is his little thing. Doesn't really drink the water, just wets his mouth. and then the little side to side, which is what we see. And that, like, if you think about all the things that happen there in the moment, like, it's really crazy.
See, I know you well. I know there, for those moments, you're always trying to get the best angle, and you're gutted when you can't. And that really shows how challenging it can be when you're there. So much stuff going on.
Arda Güler got a start this day, and he was really a star. And one thing while we were at this game, some of our colleagues from Turkey were at the game, so we were focusing a lot on Arda Güler, hoping that he would deliver a performance, and he certainly did.
And he did.
And he got the second goal. But I think the moment we were all waiting for was to see whether Mbappé could step up for Real Madrid after a difficult couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And he got a goal as well. So it was Jude, Arda and Mbappé.
But the important question is here, did you manage to get any piece of content for La Liga with Mbappé?
Yes, I did. So again, end of the match, this is where everything is happening. The players are going off in different directions. Some of the players are over with the fans. Some of the players are shaking hands. Some of the players are giving their jerseys. So you'll be able to see in this footage that as I was walking up the touchline to get to halfway line, I realised Bellingham's going over to give his jersey to a fan.
Yeah.
I was like, will I run over to try and capture that really close, or will I?
Because that content would do well on the social channels, right? Bellingham giving a shirt away, that's the type of content.
Interestingly, he had like 2 coats on because it was really cold in Girona. You couldn't really see his face, so that was kind of in the moment a split-second decision. I was like, because he's got the coat on, can't really see him that well, so I'm not going to run over. I'm going to stay where I'm going to stay put and see if I can get something else.
Yeah.
So anyway, made my way to the halfway line, and obviously it's Mbappé, world superstar, one of the most famous people in the world. So I was like, right, I need to get an Mbappé clip. So all of a sudden, you can see on the glasses, start recording, Mbappé is walking towards me, and he swaps shirts with Asprilla from Girona, who had a great game. Swapping shirts, and then Mbappé walks off. And as you can see, he walks right past
Grazed his shoulders of you. Yeah.
Literally, like, right in front of me. So it was the shot I wanted to get, and luckily I got it. And with these glasses, you can kind of see the process.
Yeah,
you know,
you can get really inside as well. And
exactly.
Another important question here, though, is how did that content do on the socials, on the Liga socials? This is what we're paid to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the clip itself did numbers. Got nearly 15 million views on the Instagram page. So that's kind of, obviously, it's a numbers game when you work in social media.
Absolutely.
The clips you get, you want them to get good numbers. So
there you go, guys. That was a little route behind a clip that's got 15 million views. So that's how it's taken. That's what actually happens at the stadium, if you ever wanted to know.
And yeah, it's just honestly being in that moment. As I said, like, you're so focused on getting the clip, you're so focused on getting the framing right. You kind of have to put yourself out of the situation, because if you're like, oh my God, Mbappé is walking right past me, you might miss the shot. So it's very interesting, like, the mindset you have to be in, because you have to stay calm even though you're in like a situation that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of crowd, like, as well, noise.
For a crazy football fan like I am, you have to remain professional, I suppose. So yeah, got the clip, was absolutely delighted.
You came away from that experience sort of quite happy with what you took.
Quite content with the footage I got, and honestly, like, just immensely grateful to be able to be in these situations. One thing you'd be interested to see is, you might think, well, where do you sit, like, when you're pitchside? It's not all glamorous. It was about 5 degrees, and I had to sit on the ground beside the photographer.
There's the true behind the scenes
exactly.
footage.
So even though it's like
creator,
you're in the best spot in the stadium, sometimes you have to sit on the ground. So it's
sacrifice yourself for the content, right?
Of course.
So,
no problem there.
So you finished that. So Barcelona, Real Madrid in the space of just a few days. You fly back here, Madrid, where we're based.
Exactly.
But that wasn't the end, was it, of your story for the week? Now, we opened the show up with some really interesting...
Bit of a teaser,
yeah. Should we have a look at how you did and how you finished off
well,
that?
I think I need to explain how I found myself in this situation. So, as content creators in LaLiga, you get random opportunities every now and then to do pretty crazy things. And one of the things we're doing when there's derbies in Madrid, we're focusing a lot of content on them. It's a collaboration with Mahu, who are one of our sponsors, the beer. And what we wanted to do at Atlético Madrid versus Getafe was do a 1v1 at halftime on the pitch at the Metropolitano. So
wow, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, you're saying like it's nothing. He's taking a one-on-one in front of 65,000 people at Atleti's home ground, one of the finest stadiums in Europe. I mean,
So,
that must have felt...
I was luckily I was given the opportunity to do that, and shall we see how I got on?
Yeah, let's see how you get on. So before we watch the clip, I mean, I need to ask you, like in front of 65,000 people, capacity stadium. I mean, it was rocking that day as well.
Yeah.
How were your nerves stepping up to that?
It was weird. Like it's weird to break it down because everything, as I've kind of said, the theme in this video is that everything just happens so quickly. Like you nearly don't have enough time to think. The week leading up to it, I actually thought I was going to take a penalty.
Right.
I was like, everyone was like, you're going to take a penalty at halftime. Penalty, penalty, penalty. So in my head, I'm like, okay, every time I shoot a penalty, I go to my right, the keeper's left.
Yeah.
Practiced it hundreds of times. Like I know how to
Make sure you don't miss on the day.
So then I arrive at the stadium and it's like, it's not a penalty. It's a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. So I was like,
so much more time to deal with that.
And yeah, my plan gone out the window at that stage. So basically with a one-on-one, obviously you have to take more touches. It's not just like one shot. So when, as you can see in this footage, when I'm walking out on the pitch, I'm like, I need to get a few touches of the ball. I'm not just going to be the first thing I do is do the dribble.
No, of course.
So as you can see here, I'm doing some keepy-uppies, a couple of failed attempts at around the world, but just getting my touch going, and I think that actually calmed my nerves.
Absolutely.
And obviously all of this was filmed on these glasses, which are really great because, as I said, like when we're filming on our phones, you're kind of like looking at the moment through a screen.
Yeah.
Whereas with the glasses, you're able to film
Everything's...
and you're also able to take in the moment. So
Yeah.
obviously, like being able to play on the pitch is like an insane dream for me. Like unbelievable opportunity. So I really wanted to take in the moment. Did you back me to score?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought... I never doubted it, Ollie. Never doubted it.
So now the build-up is over. It's time to see whether I was able to do it.
Let's take a look.
So here we go.
Not a bad first
dribble
touch.
to start. One-on-one with the keeper. Take him one way.
Wow.
Sent him.
Not a
And
bad touch
finished
there
it.
at all. Look at the crowd though. That must be an amazing moment.
Ridiculous.
The celebration.
Thoughts on the celebration?
Not bad at all. I thought it was going to be like Diego Jota's one for a moment.
But no, had to do the yoga celebration.
Love it.
I don't remember any of that. Like even the two touches that I did at the start.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, I planned to do this. The only thing I had planned is if I would score, I would do the celebration. Everything else.
Did you hear the crowd?
I could hear the crowd.
Yeah.
One thing, I'll put the raw footage on. You can hear like when I'm dribbling up, you can just hear whoa, whoa, whoa. Because when I was like going side to side, they probably wanted me to mess it up.
Yeah.
And then obviously when it went in, you just heard
Incredible.
70,000 people.
So you know what it's like to score a goal, the Metropolitano.
Don't know if it's quite the same. Not the same as Griezmann scoring, but no, honestly, like a crazy moment, an absolute dream.
Pretty good week, right, as far as they go?
Absolutely crazy. A week to remember, and the thing on the pitch was just a moment I'll never forget.
Absolutely. I mean, put your questions in the comments. We're more than happy to answer
exactly.
them.
If you have any questions, if you have questions about any more details, leave them in the comments. We'll get back to you. And yeah, we hope you like this kind of different style of episode, behind the scenes, working in football.
Absolutely. Now, it doesn't stop there either, does it? A few days ago now,
Mm.
we went and created some content with Puma, one of the main partners here at LaLiga, didn't we, with some more super famous stars. That's going to be the next episode of LaLiga Talks.
So make sure you tune in for that. That'll be after Christmas. And yeah, it's going to be a good episode. So
Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned.